Share the story.
Thank you. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. And it's awesome to be here. And I'm glad that there are many people come today. So, this is the second time we set up the meeting, right? Last time, the meeting was presented in Thai. But today, for some reason, this guy was in here, have an idea of, hey, why don't we upgrade our meeting to be in English so we can become more international? And I happen to be the first guy who be the big victim of this. And okay, I just say, hey, let's do it. Fine, okay? So, shall we start? Oh, I'm on here. Who am I? My name is Nick. I am the co-founder of Sinos. So many people spell it different ways. So to pronounce it correctly, it's called Sinos, okay? Not Sinose or Sinos or whatever. And I'm the CTO of Sinos, if you know what CTO is. And I'm the producer of this game. Whatever producer means, I am the producer. What I did in the past was, I was the graphics programmer for my previous game studio I worked with. As a graphic programmer, I did like shader stuff, 3D programming, and that sort of thing. Like, you know, cool graphics. You know, the last 3 or 4 years, it's a big era of cool graphics like CryEngine, you know, Unreal, right? Where everybody was like crazy about, oh, look at this shadow is so realistic, right? And like, look at this, all the lighting and global illumination is so real, but nobody cares anymore today. Right? All people care about today was like, what? Hey, look at this game. It's like, oh, the candies look so amazing. I want to crush them all, right? Or like, look at these temples. I'm gonna run to all of them. I don't care how shitty it looks like. I don't care. So that's what happens today. People don't care about graphics. Just care about how fun it is, or as a developer, we care about how to make money. Okay? Sorry, just bitching around because I tend to talk here and there all the time. So if I go off the way, just call me back. I haven't finished it yet. Sorry. What I do now is, at this company, I do all the code. I mean, 99% of the code, because now we have 2 interns helping me a little bit, 1%, okay? And I manage the project. And I also QA all the design, including the graphics and the level design. You know, have anyone played the Thapster already? Have anyone played? Raise your hand, please. Okay, we got a lot here. Thapster is a music game. Thapster is Guitar Hero. I couldn't find anything that could explain more. It's Guitar Hero. It's on mobile and it's all Thai song. Okay. So I did all the design. I create all the design, and aside from that, I do all several stuff like admin, fan page, or even ordering pizza. What I'm going to talk today is going to show you a little bit of what's happening now for Thapster, show you some data and the statistics. Then I'm going to show you the history about our game, what happened from the last year. We started our company last year, and it's been a year already, this month, right? and we will show you. My partner here will talk about the problems and the future plan of this game, and even the future apps that we're gonna make if we have money, and what we've learned. So yeah, we show you the trailer here. Nice. So yeah, no sound. It happens all the time in presentation. Always happen. Come on. Okay. Thank you for clapping. Thank you. I mean, how can a game company be a company if they have no trailer or this type of stuff? The funny thing about the trailer is that we didn't finish it until the game was shipped for like 3 months. For some reason in the meeting, a guy in the team mentioned in the meeting and like, hey, why don't we have the trailer? Why do we have a trailer? And the guy said, how can a game be a game without a trailer? I said, okay, let's just do it. No problem. And then we have the trailer, which nobody wants. Okay, what should I say? I just finished the slides this afternoon. It's very new, that's why we have iPhone 5s here, right? See? And I actually plan to use the iPhone 5C on all the slides, and you know, we kind of have different colors, shitty colors. But I realized that, hey, it's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. already, and maybe I shouldn't do it. So this is the only slide we have the new iPhone. Sorry about that. So we have become the first official Thai music game, okay? Which is actually we didn't plan for. We didn't realize that we are actually the official Thai music game until like 3 months after it's been released. Because at the first time, at the day we launched the app, we only have like 7 songs from like 3 music labels, and they are all like so indies. They're like no-name labels. And from time to time, we start to have money from investor and from the net purchase a little bit. We start to deal with bigger one and better and bigger. Now we have like almost music label connection in Thailand already. Like, only a few left. Okay, we have the biggest one like Grammy and RS coming soon. So that's basically what tells us that, yeah, hey, now we are the official Thai music game, right? And Thapster. The name actually came from the word tap, T-A-P. And why it is T-S? Because it's Thai song, right? It's a T-S-A-P. So if you want to pronounce it correctly, you have to say Thapster. Okay? What else? Nothing. And a lot of people say that, hey, why? A lot of people say that, hey, you have a very good-looking app. The design is very fun. All of that because we believe in putting effort into the design. Both the look, the graphics itself, and the level design. The hardest part of music game is the level design, not the graphic design. Anybody in the world, any game studio could do cool graphics, right? But for music game, you have to really understand music. So what we did was we hired musicians, the real musicians, that they do this stuff every day, and we teach them the technical stuff that's required to make this type of, you see the coming down, the notes and the thing, right? That actually done by the real musician. Some of them are actually the musicians that actually have names of being famous already. Okay. And the proof of this is that we have 4.5 star review on the App Store. And we don't have Android yet, so we don't know how it's going to be on Android. Maybe it's lower than this or higher, I don't know. But yeah, that's really for the high quality app. Our belief. Another thing that everyone in our studio are proud of is that we were featured on iOS App Store. What happened was, a month after we released the app, there was a guy from Apple make a call to me, and then he said that, hey, your app is so interesting, and we got a lot of traffic here from Apple, and we love your design, and your app is so localized in your country, so we want to feature your app, right? And he said, hey, this weekend we're gonna be in Bangkok. So would you like to visit that and have a talk so we can talk about, hey, how can we help you and what should we do to improve your app? I said, hey, okay, why not? Right, let's do it. So actually this guy was like sounds so Chinese. I thought he was like a spam or something. And then when he invited me to visit at the Apple office, then I started to believe him and I met him at the weekend. And then we go visit them, right? And then we have a little discussion about the design of our app and then how he liked his app. Suddenly he pulled out his iPhone and then he said, he started playing the Thapster, right? And then he said, I think that is the problem with your design. The font is so small and like the design was like weird. This is like the web design or something. The day before you just said that you like my app. What happened now? I thought like he's gonna change his mind and not gonna put us on feature. And finally he put us on feature app. But one thing he mentioned is that he didn't believe that we actually have the license for the songs. So he asked us to send them like some sort of papers or like the legal contracts. So I went back home that day and then sent them the contracts in Thai. And then a few days later they put that on the feature app. Okay, maybe they were getting tired of us, like, just put this for this kid and sit on this there, whatever. Now let's see a little bit of the statistics for our app. Is it the number that I got actually from this morning? The number of downloads on the App Store. Thai App Store because we only available on Thai iOS App Store. We can't release our app on any other countries just because the legal stuff, the song license. We tend to be the white side of the app. Right? We don't want to be the dark side. we could, and they wouldn't know actually. We could put our app on US and then they wouldn't know. That's the future, and then it's good to be a white side now. Okay. The number of plays is 30 million plays. So it's been 6 or 7 months since we released the game, and we have a lot of player and crazy traffic on our server. There was like 3 or 4 times already that I have to upgrade our server to be bigger and bigger and bigger. This is not only in Thailand. Number of plays per day is that 270,000 plays. And the time that each person spend on our app every time they launch the app is 17 minutes, which is pretty high. If you average the length of each song is like 3 or 4 songs. Android, we will release the Android version soon. Maybe this month or next month. Depends on my feeling, how diligent is the team, how many days we get drunk. Depends. Sorry, we have a little things. Okay. This is the data we get from App Annie is the third-party analytics for iOS and Android. And what you see here is the graph of Thapster ranking on iPhone free games. Okay. You can see, and since the game was shipped in March, you can see the exponent peak of the ranking is riding up to the number 1. Almost number 1. Thapster never been in the first line of App Store. But the good thing is, after 6 or 7 months, it's still sticking around on the top 20 or top 25 free games. Compared to like live pop. Okay. After only 2 or 3 or 4 months, you can see that the ranking of live pop starting to decline. Like from almost 1 to like 100. So we asked ourselves why Thapster can keep its ranking on the top after it's been released for almost 7 months already. So I searched around the internet and see one interesting idea. This is actually, I got this from the Unite the conference from Unity. They talk about the idea of entertainment half-life. So basically, what it mean by this is that how long does it take for a content or a media or an entertainment to feel dated, to feel old? How long does it take for you to feel like bored about it, about something, about an entertainment? Okay. Let's start with music, which is the longest half-life of entertainment. They said music has like 25 to 1,000 years. What I mean by this is that you can still enjoy music even if it's old. Is that true, right? You can still enjoy canon. Right? You can still enjoy the music that you listened when you were a kid. Right? Next, sorry, get back to the music a little bit. Is that one idea about this is that if you start to be a musician today, if you start making music today, you actually have to compete with people that make music hundreds years ago, right? If you make music that sounds like the Beatles today, you actually have to compete with them today because people still enjoy listening to Beatles. Then what happens for music half-life? Now look at the film. The film has shorter half-life, 5 to 25 years. This makes sense, right? We start to feel that some films start to feel dated, feel old after 25 years, or even sooner than that. It actually depends on the design of the film, the graphics, the special effects, the actors, right? And game has even shorter half-life. I think it's fair to say that game has 2 to 5 years half-life, at least by the majority of the game. Some games still feel new, brand new, after 5 years, like StarCraft 1. Some people still play that. But most of the game is outdated already after 5 years or even 2 years. I don't know how long GTA 5 gonna last. Maybe one year or two, mostly, right? But if you look at mobile game, it's very short half-life. It only have half a year to 2 years. I can't think of any game that still feel fresh after 2 years or 1 year. What it's telling you by this is that the game you make today for a mobile game will be dated soon, will be old soon, very soon, because it has very short half-life. But the good thing about this is that they said, if you make mobile game, even though it will be dated soon, but the good thing is that you actually compete with people that study the same time as you, right? Because you don't have to compete with people who made mobile games 1 year or 2 years before. You just compete with people that started at the same time as you. That's the good part of mobile game half-life. And in the conclusion, they said, the shorter the half-life, the more power the creator holds. For Thapster, we are the mixture between mobile game and music. That's why we take advantage from both. So we compete with music game at the same time. In fact, there is no competitor for Thapster anyway. But if there were, we have to compete only with them, only with people who start at the same time. And we take benefit of having music in the game. Every time we put our new song on the app, everyone come back and play because we can enjoy the music. It doesn't matter if it's old or new, they can still enjoy. So hopefully you got an idea from this. Okay. Okay. The community. So we have the fan page for Thapster, and there's like 100,000 of fans already, which is actually good for us because we can do everything on fan page now. Basically, every app usually updates stuff on fan page, like that's common. What's funny is that we start to see people start requesting songs on our fan page. Hey, I like that song. Hey, please do this and that. Some people like, oh, I'm in love with this girl and I love this song so much. Can you please make this song for me? Like all the drama. And, okay, I will do that. I will note that down and do that for you. And then didn't do it at all. Another thing is that we have live support on fan page. So the very first version of Thapster, when there is an error happens in the app, we will say, please contact support and we will put the email, our support email. What happened was nobody mails us because it's too hard. It's unreachable, right? Nobody mails anymore. But when we use fan page instead, that's really good because people use Facebook every day and it's accessible, and we can do the live support quickly. The last thing about the fan page we have a lot of Android fans actually on the fan page, even though we don't have Android version. That actually surprised us. Right? There are many times we post new updates on the new feed, and then every time we post something, there are going to be some Android fans raging about, hey, when are you going to finish your Android version? Hey, where the hell are you going to finish it? And are you going to finish it this life or the other life? That type of stuff. And I was so pissed because there are so many of them, and I have to say, hey, I have to tell to myself, don't do it, don't yell at that, no. But this is the fact. So to be a good support on fan page, do not get drunk. Okay? There are many times that when I get drunk and then, hey, let's check on the fan page, let's see what people say. And I see these types of stuff, and many times I say bad things to users, and I didn't have to apologize to them later in the other day. So that's not good, okay? Okay, let's have a little break. So that's all about what happened today for Thapster. And next, we're gonna talk about what happened in the past, the history of this game, all the drama. It is not my car, by the way. Don't just go hold it. Oh, I'm gonna make you sit here. I want this car. No, okay, this is not my car. But this is to show you that we all have common objective. We all have dreams, right? We want to be rich. We want to have freedom, right? So, what do? You start to be an entrepreneur because that's what you've been told, right? If you start your own company, you can be rich, you can be free, you can be fine. But what happens mostly for people that started a company and don't realize that it's not that easy. What happened is this. Right? It's actually happened to myself too. The first month or two after I left my last company, it's actually what I am. Playing Diablo 3 all day and night. Don't know what I'm doing. But I was so lucky meeting my partners. I have good partners. And as a developer, as an engineer, you need to have business partner. Okay? If you guys are engineer, you don't have brains for money, finance stuff for sure. So you need to find partner. And when you have partner, good things happen. So to avoid being a dog, You need to know what to do, right? So start doing research. For Thapster, we spent like 3 or 4 months research. That's a long time. And that's worth it. We didn't even plan to do Thai music game at the first place. We planned to do just typical music game. Or a brand new music game. Or music game that we compose our own song. But hey, if you look closely, this market is for us. We don't have competitors. Nobody makes Thai music game before. That's all the research tells you. If we didn't do research, we might have chosen the wrong path. One thing about the research is that you have to understand your market. So you need to see what's happening in the industry, see your competitors, also understand the users. What do they like? What do they don't like? These are all the games, and there are way more than this that we've been experimenting around. And besides these 6 top music games from Korea, US. Okay. Once you know what you want to do and what you want to go for, you then start planning, right? All right. Yeah, so we start off without an office. We don't have money. We only have time and willing to do something. So what we could only do is that we have a meeting every week, twice a week, 3 times a week, and we have meeting at like coffee shop, and we tend to move all around Bangkok. Sometimes we meet at beer garden, right? And we try to go to like this event. We try to go to different events, meet with people, having discussion, getting some ideas. We went to like Mobile Monday, Web Wednesday, and that type of things. And it's so common to make concept art. For making a game, you need to have concept art. Even though you don't know what it's going to look like at the end eventually, but you're going to do it for some reason. And this is actually not only for so there's going to be some reason. So one thing is that we need to make the business plan for an investor. So we make concept art. But another thing is that so that we can get the team to have the same idea of what we're going to do at the end. Like they see the same picture. So can you go back? And this is the most important thing. Not most, maybe, I don't know. One of the most important thing that you gotta have to make business plan. As again, an engineer, I don't even know what business plan means back in that day. Because I have never been taught. Right? I studied in engineering school. I didn't know that we have to make business plan to do business. So why do we have to make business plan? One thing for sure is that if you want to present your idea to some people, to your investor, you're going to have some sort of standard, right? This is the standard. But most importantly, business plan is that to stimulate your idea and to understand what you are going to do. It's actually the reminder to yourself, right? So that's basically what business plan is for. How long? Okay, 20 minutes. Thank you. After we finish the business plan, and then we started to find money. Maybe it may look like it's easy to find money, but it's not easy at all. It took us like a few months to actually prove that we can do it. It's very hard to convince someone that, hey, I have this idea and I can do it. Especially for the team that never been doing anything before like us. This is our first project. Okay? So you have to be very concise and precise about your business plan. After we got the money, then we start to have money. And once we have money, we have stuff to play around. This is the very first day of prototyping. And I have all the gadgets. I remember my mom said, "What's wrong with you? All these devices, why you have to buy all this?" And I said to her, "Not my money." This is the first prototype of Thapster. It's the proof that technically we can do this sort of stuff, and it's playable, right? And actually, originally, 2D music game. Then we keep improving it, like iteration. Keep doing it, changing, test, change, until we get the one we expected. Not only, you may have to give test by your friend or your staff or people at your company, but most importantly, you have to test the right person. You have to get your game tested by the right people. Right? And for music game, who's gonna play music game? It's people who like music, right? So we had a chance to open up the booth at Fat Festival last year. For those who don't know, Fat Festival is the biggest music festival in Bangkok. And it was very good for us because we can get a lot of feedback from people who went there to listen to music, and all of them are actually fans of musicians, of artists we have in our app. We have them do the research and questions, right? Get the feedback, and then we actually took that and improved our apps and the design. Because to design music game is the problem is that should it be easy or should it be very hard? Should it be complicated? Right? It's very hard to design music games. So you have to actually find the person who actually play your game and give you a review. So that was a very good chance for us, and it helps us a lot by this. Okay. After a few months with the investments, we started to move in our new office, and this is what it looked like. That on the left top is basically where we are working. Then on the right top is the meeting room, and that is we're finding candidates. We're starting to hire musicians or people who like designing notes for a music game. One thing about hiring people is that Do not hire people who can only do the job. Right? You can always hire people that can do the job, but what is better is that you have to find people that believe what you believe. Okay? If you hire people just because they can do the job, they will work for your money and your paycheck. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, then they will work for you for your life with their blood and sweat and tears. Okay? That's why we have a very good team at Sinos, because we always look at people who believe what I believe, what we believe. And of course, they have talent too. And here, we also have entertainment in our company too. Okay? We're making music game, right? So we're gonna play music game. This is Hero, and we love what we do, right? Love what we do. Okay. If you don't love what we do, then we will not care each other. And if you don't care each other, then we start to feel lonely. And when you feel lonely, bad thing happens. Okay? It's like this, bad thing happens. Okay, now it's that. Okay, now I'm gonna hand this over to my partner. He will talk about the problems and the lesson we have learned from the past, and he will talk about the future of Thapster and our company. Okay.
Okay, my partner take the good part and I will take the drama part. Yeah. First of all, the first part, I would like to say that it is really beautiful picture, but this is the real thing that happened. Yeah, as we know that Thapster has many stakeholders. We have user, we have product development system. At least you would have two of these one if you want to do the game. Moreover, we have ad network. You will have the ad mediator, and the most complicated part is the music label. Let's say about the problem. First of all, you know that Thai people love freeze. Yeah. Thai people do not purchase our apps. Our in-app purchase is very low. What we are going to do in the near future, we will have advertising and we will have alternative payment gateway and item shops. Most people will ask me that why we don't use advertising network or we don't use anything like that, because it will lower our benefit. Yeah. I have to say I come from BTI, the advertising company, so I know how to advertise this. And many company will take a whole inventory to sell at that price. The other thing is the advertising, selling, and operation. We will have more platform, more song, and more free song to have larger user, and we sell directly to the customer that if you want this one or you don't want. Okay, problems about the music level. The first, that it is very hard to talk to the musician and everything, because they have the feeling for the money. You know, feeling. Yeah, they don't have any exact price. They don't have any sales tax. They have only feeling. If they like you, they may say that, okay, for free. If they don't like you, they'll say, no, I want join. Yeah, it is very hard to do that, to deal to the music level. Moreover, if you see the last version, we have iTunes, we have Facebook link for the artists, we have YouTube, to collaborate with the music label to favor them. The interesting number that we have about 10 to 30 placed on the iTunes link every day for one song. So it means that the next year we will have less copyright costs. Yeah. And then we will have like two model. The first one is the music profit share and the fixed amount in each song. However, we have future plan. We will have Thapster 2.0. We will redesign the UI and UX and all menus. We will try to simulate in-app purchase via item shops and social features. In Android, we will have payment gateway in alternative way as well. As we grow up from the music game, we are going to do the international music game, or we will do the social and casual music game internationally. We have passed many mistakes in this application, and hopefully that the new one it will not be the same. Okay, let's say about the lesson learned. I am the business part, right? I have presented many investors, many music label. One day, one carrier they say that, hey, you are very arrogant, you are very not good. I don't have manner for them. One day, because of the business mismatch, one day they call us to rejoin again. So I have to say that we have to be friends with everyone. We have to feel good. Yeah, it is very important for the business. The second one, we are the startup, so we have to lead as we can. This one is very important for the team. We have to stay focused, stay believed, stay motivated, or else your apps will be lower quality and the team will fade away. And as we have failed, and many fails need success. Thank you.
How much time do I have?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, good. Okay, I want to summarize this up. So, for Thapster, some people might say hard work, right? Focus, persistence. But being hard work, anyone could do that. But hard work is actually the result, the byproduct of something more powerful, which is the belief, confidence, the self-confidence. I gave a definition of confidence is the belief in yourself to accomplish any task, no matter odds, no matter difficulties, no matter adversity, I'm gonna accomplish it. Right? Self-confidence. And I say self-confidence is a skill because I believe it can be trained. Okay? Confidence can be trained. I can say, hey, the plane is going down. Can anyone fly? I can. I'm confident. No, right? That is not happening. Confidence came from training, practice, repetition. Okay. So if I could give you one thing back today, it's that no one will believe in you unless you do. So believe in yourself and get out there and fight whatever the obstacle you will face, and then one day you will be up here like us. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now is you heard about a great story from them, she knows. So now that you ask the question you might have. Anyone have a question? You can ask anything that
Please ask.
does not related to some kind of legal issue.
Hot space, please.
You said that the ads lower your benefit. I want to know why. Why it lower your benefit?
There is two things about that. The first one, we have to admit that we want in-app purchase, and we didn't implement it in the first. But as we try to all study about the stuff, it say that we have two things. Two things is the one is the interactive to put out. It will have like 6 baht per click, but we would like to sell the ad for video ad. We have the rolling screen. Yeah, and the video ad we have already implemented inside, but the money for the one view is like 1.1 baht. It is, if we sell it myself, I can sell it at 0.3 baht.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I think I want to ask some question that more people might want to know. Actually, how much are you getting for one income?
And about 200,000
20,000 per month?
for in-app purchase.
For every
Yeah, we have already in-app purchase now, but we are going to have this next month.
200,000?
Yes.
Baht?
Yes.
Question? Okay.
Do you think that is it possible for the habit of the user to like to be changed in the future? Because you mentioned during the presentation, right, that usually Thai users they don't purchase a song, they don't do in-app purchase. But compared to like Western markets, it's so different. Why? And is it possible for like Thai users' behavior to be changed in the future for an in-app purchase?
The first one, we have to say that the financial market in Thailand, we don't allow the credit card to have. If you have that, you have to be at least 18. So this one is our obstacle that we facing. Yeah. In the near future, they should have new alternative payment gateway. But as you know, Apple don't allow it.
What about if you create like true money or something? Because I have seen like a lot of game online, they use true money so that everyone can just walk to 7-Eleven and buy true money.
You will see it next month. Because many of our fan page ask us that, hey, why don't you have that, this and that?
But still, it's going to be hard for a user to like do a lot of app research. So even though maybe Thai people get like more richer in the future.
I have the stats for the apps that use alternative in-app purchase. They have like 4 times in-app purchase. Only implement that.
So what is the conversion rate that you have? Since you mentioned that the amount of people who actually pay for music is quite low, I just wonder how low that is. It's like what percentage of players actually pay?
About 0.5%.
0.5. Is that standard in music like apps?
I don't know that the standard for in Thailand.
What about in international apps? Whether like in America, what
what's the conversion rate compared to YouTube?
In America, from our research, it is about 2 to 5%.
2 to 5%. Hey, Jacob from Bangkok.
He is my investor.
Not yet. So what are your plans for expansion onto other countries? And why haven't you done it earlier?
Expansion?
Expansions onto other countries in Thailand? Because do you think that Thailand would like to be big enough to make it profitable?
In fact, I would like to say that actually, because we don't have much team, we have very few people. Yeah. Only Thapster, we cannot go further if we do not have further investment to go to grab. Because if we have the, if you know the brand, many brands will invest with us, it will advertise with us, but we will have 3 months credit. We will have to many delays.
So maybe advertising will be the way forward in Thailand as well?
For me, however, we have to admit that we have system to stimulate in-app purchase very few. Yeah, we have to admit that we don't have that before. We don't have never done it before. So the best thing that we utilize our team, yeah, is from advertising, and we sell directly because I come from advertising agency. Yeah.
Another question is, any issues with piracy? Copying. You can copy out now. Do you know whether there's any data on that?
I haven't seen any. You mean, have we seen any apps that look like Thapster?
No. I mean, like, they basically unlock your stuff without paying you.
Oh, no. We have a good system that you cannot.
You don't have any concern with Android when you port it over to Android?
We can't say that until we use it. So we're going to see it.
Hi. I have a quick question about the research thing. So did you have the prototype ready and then you research is there a demand for this program? Or did you look up the demand in Thailand and then you did the prototype? What's the procedure of researching let's say if there's the demand on the Thai market? You get my question?
So the question was?
The question is, how is your research process to research if there's a demand for the product?
I see. That's the hard question.
Yeah. I can help that. Our marketing strategy is different from other apps. Other apps don't have music. We pay very few about the marketing ways, like Facebook installing apps or Facebook ad or even fan page. We marketing it by we ask the music label to post on the fan page if we have the song of that. So also we test it in the artist. We ask artists first that if we have that game, do you play it? So that is the one that we test as well. And also the Fact Fest. Yeah.
Okay, but before making Thapster, did you assume there's a demand for Thai music game? Or did you surveys or whatever?
In the past, there were a couple of music games that were localized in Thai. So some companies in Thailand bought the license of different music games from Korean. Have you ever heard of O2 Jam? Or it's a very famous music game and it's localized in Thai, and it's one very successful. So, and I was one of the clients of their games as well, and I believe that there are so many Thai music gamers in Thailand. That's why we believe in music game at the first place, actually.
You mentioned adding advertisement as your future revenue stream. What's the forecast on that?
We have the contract that will end this month to agency. We have it already, but we cannot tell you. Yeah. Also, we have another thing is that we call the media order to take all inventory of us and sell it for us. Not like the an network. Yeah.
I don't really need to know the detail. I just want to know your future forecast.
As in how much you're going to
It
make?
is about 2 million per month.
You even brought the money. Advertisement. I'll play your game and look forward to see what they sell there.
No technical question, please.
Talk about kind of game that you said. We have go to jam. So I just mentioned that we have audition and many games like Super something like that. So do you have any plan to go to get the customer from that game, because that game actually online game for you is that game. Do you plan to make a fashion design or any plan to?
You mean whether we will still their customer to play our game, right? Was that the question?
Just for now, they have a title for music game that have a audition or something like that. But how do you, what do you think about going to emphasize them about we have the Thapster and you plan to make it more interest for that player?
I guess we're gonna have to make Android first. But yeah, you have a good point. But the problem is our game is now only on iOS, right? And to gaining more users from those games on, I don't know, PC or Facebook, it's a different market. I mean, they are the same people, but they have different access to different stores, right? So, of course, we want to make Thapster cross-platform to PC and Facebook app, for sure.
For my experience, people that play PC game from the last day, for now, just change into like tab or smartphone or something like that easy to reach. So, do you have any plan to get for them something like that?
For our research, the first one that we research about the gaming industry, and we know that the video game selling for the PC drops every year. So what substitute them? It is the mobile. So we may have plan. We have plan to do the mobile game in the next one, but we may not have the plan to go to the PC because also the complexity and the profitability.
Okay.
Got like a technical questions. So what is like the most difficult thing for not being able to release on the Android yet? What is like the most difficult? Is it like about technical or is it like a business model plan? Because I heard that Unity shouldn't be that hard, to deploy onto different Android devices. But why is it like so many months now and it's not being released on Android? What is like the biggest problem? What is the biggest concern?
This is a question I heard every day. I don't know either. I mean, every time we get close to finish the Android, and then we realize that, hey, this isn't right. We have to redo it again. I don't mean redo. I mean, we have to do something else or do something that can make it ready. Okay, and.
You mean is the UI design or something is not very suitable with the screen size or the monitor screen on Android device? You mean it's not
like 1% of it? But I mean, if you don't do it, you wouldn't know it. And then you have no idea what we've been through, right? But there's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with.
Maybe you don't have to invest to buy all the Android devices.
So
as an investor, I need money to buy Android devices.
Maybe I don't have Android devices.
That's what I want to know. The point that when you run on the Android, what makes you feel that it's not ready yet to release on the Android? Is it like errors popping out, or when you run on certain device, it returns you an error, cannot connect to the server or something like that?
There are different aspects. Like, of course, we have technical problems like performance or the difference, the fact that Android device is different from iOS, right? The performance of the Android, the touch delay, that sort of stuff. But that's technical. But we also have another aspect that holding us from releasing the Android, which is business part. Advertising and the integration of the ads network. That actually what it is. So together all of those, that's why it's delayed.
I have some idea.
Again and again.
I have some idea why you don't have Android, because you have too much successful on iOS. I have heard from the songwriter staff, they have storytelling that when the first song they're very successful, they have a problem on the second song because they worry and think about it too much. They don't want to let the second song.
Let's release the goddamn song.
Yes. Maybe you have too much successful on iOS.
Are you hinting that portability on Unity is bullshit?
It's perfect. Is there any Unity guy here?
Since you are using Unity, do you use any asset from the asset store?
I do. A bunch of them. Like Facebook integration and the in-app purchase plugin. I guess that's all. Oh, the UI. We use the Android.
Okay, I guess we one more question if anyone has. So we're closing. Okay, so I have a question. I would like to know how it's important to like release the game on both platforms like iOS and Android. I mean, if we didn't do this, how it affect the outcome of the release? Is it okay that we just release iOS first to focus on quality and not to consider on screen size or something? Just put it away first and then see the success and then adapt to Android. This is compared by these two approaches. What do you think that? Yeah.
Maybe it can answer that question about why the Android is delayed too. Because we knew nobody gonna buy the song anyway if we release Android. So why are we gonna have to be hurried? right? What do we have to wait for is our clients, our advertisers, right? Because this is embarrassing, but it's a fact. It's true, and that's how you do business. You're going to believe. Also, with 100,000 of users, you're going to have to pay a lot for your server, right? And we lose money every month. We don't have income just yet, but soon. So hopefully, if we get money from the advertising, we will release Android.
Okay, so this is the story that Seniors Game Studio shared with you, and as you can see that in every meetup we bring the guys to share their story about the apps, their story, their approach to tackle things, so you can adapt and form their solution on your own. And also, when you adapt on your own, maybe next time you can come here on stage and share your story again. So the content about the meetup is always ours, yours, right? Okay. Before we closing.
Oh, how I forgot this. ระหว่างรอมีใครอยากจะถามภาษาไทยก็ได้นะครับอึดอัดมาก
Actually, I forced him to speak English, but he's very good.
ก็มีคำถามคิดว่าหลังจาก implement ระบบ advertisement สำเร็จแล้วเนี่ยแล้ว release สำหรับ Android แล้วเนี่ยคิดว่าฝั่ง Apple หรือว่าฝั่ง Android ฝั่งไหนจะทำเงินเยอะกว่ากันฝั่งไหนจะให้ income กับบริษัทมากกว่ากันถ้าระบบ advertisement เสร็จแล้วก็release บน Android แล้วด้วย
advertisement ก็ได้ตามจาก advertiser นะครับเครื่องถามขัดแย้งกันอยู่ถ้าออก advertise ถ้าเราออกแอดเราได้เงินจากแอดเราไม่ได้เงินจาก Apple หรือ Google
อ๋อไม่ใช่หมายถึงว่าเมื่อเปรียบเทียบจาก device ที่คนใช้เล่นเกมคนใช้เล่นเกมใช้ device จาก Android แล้วก็คนกลุ่มนึงใช้ device ของ iOS แล้วก็เทียบกับเปรียบเทียบค่าที่ได้
อ๋อเข้าใจแล้วคือคำถามคือถ้าออก Android กับ iOS แล้วอ่ะเราจะได้เงินจากแอดมากแค่ไหนคือเงินจะได้จากแอดมันจะได้จากยอดวิวหรือเปล่าครับ
ใช่ยอดวิวคือคนเล่น
ก็ต้อง Android อยู่แล้วเพราะว่ายอดเล่นมันต้องเยอะกว่า
นั่นแปลว่าอีกหน่อยรายได้โดยรวมของทั้งบริษัทเนี่ยจะมาจากฝั่งของ user ด้าน Android มากกว่า iOS
จริงด้วยก็คุณคิดได้เหมือนกัน
เขาก็ต้องวัดตรงนี้เขาก็ต้องวัดคลิกดูกับดาวน์โหลดตามด้วยใช่ไหมครับ
หลักเป็นภาษาที่แบบนี้ so we use third party advertising SDK the reason is that we could have an official report for these advertisers so they can believe that hey you actually have this 100,000 views as a random number
อีกอย่างหนึ่งที่โฆษณาจาก Android จะเยอะกว่าครับเพราะว่า Apple ไม่ให้ลงโฆษณาคู่แข่งครับอย่างเช่นยกตัวอย่างเช่น Sony อย่างเงี้ยผมลง Sony กับฝั่ง Android ได้แต่ลงฝั่ง Apple ไม่ได้ English
แล้วตอนนี้โพสต์กับเซิร์ฟเวอร์เกี่ยวกับ VPS หรือว่าเป็น cloud platform
so the question was where is our server so the answer is we use Amazon Web Services
AWS
yes
just EC2 and RDS
we use EC2 and DynamoDB and S3 and CloudFront
but you know your own traffic, or at least your own usage by now. Would it be cheaper to migrate to VPS, where you have a more fixed price, rather than like a scalable one?
You may be right, because we are in the startup period. We don't know how much traffic is going to be, especially for Android. If you release Android, how many people are going to come, right? So we're going to stick with this for a while, and then we look for a fixed expense. Okay.
What is your major source of server load? I guess why are your server costs so high?
The bandwidth for MP3.
So the users just stream it each time, or?
No, each person has to download once per song. But we have like 100 songs, and 50% of them are free, actually. So there's a lot of bandwidth going on. That's why it's expensive. But even that, we got contract from Amazon, and then they actually offer us the one-year contract, and they say, hey, we can reduce your data transfer for 45%, and that helps us a lot. So we signed contract with them already, and we got discounted. But we have to pay them for another year with the fixed price for the data transfer.
Sorry for that. Unity 3D, actually I think it's on asset store. Unity has Proton networking. Have you heard that?
Unity has the what, sorry?
Proton network. It's a server for deal with multiplayer, deal with or start to have it online.
I have heard about Proton, but I have never used it. But I believe it's the server designed for Unity and real-time simulation, like FPS and such. So, does anybody know what Proton is? Can come out and explain it here.
I think it's a server that you can. They just cap your concurrent. If you just start up, you can try multiple. If you want to play multiple server, or you want to do something with, you want to send your variable online and come back to a user again. It's just communication. It's like cloud computing, but it's for free for just developing like a 5 concurrent per times. But if you want to increase your concurrent, it's that you have to pay. Or maybe even if you want to have server in your country, you can buy the SDK. I'm not sure what it will get installed in your server, and you can. But I'm not trying yet. But I just ask you why you don't use free service, or it's like a built-in service with Unity.
Actually, Amazon has a free tier that you can try as well, but just a little. It's just so small that you couldn't handle 100,000 of users.
I just want to compare Amazon service and forum service.
The thing I want to share is that the reason that we use Amazon is that we went to the Web Wednesday and we saw that, hey, Instagram used Amazon. So, hey, use Amazon. That's it. Sounds cool.
For a more responsive interaction with the user, Amazon server is going to be suitable for this type of purpose, more responsive. Like you need to send data like in a shorter time.
Yeah, we have like 10, 12 data centers around the world. Probably they don't have it in Thailand. So when you play Thapster, you actually transfer data from Singapore, right? But talking about globalization, and if you want to make game that everybody in the world can play, I think it's a good choice.
Okay.
Any plan for multiplayer or playing with friends?
Next question. We're going to have battle if we have investment. Okay.
Okay, so sorry about that. The link is not working that time. Okay, so please go back home and copy this link, and you will see a form. And in order for you to rate this meetup in Thailand score, so we can improve next time. If you have any thought or suggestion, just tell me. And also, right now we're closing. After this time, we can still networking and talk about something. We may talk or have some kind in mind to talk with the developers of Thapster, so you can come here. Yeah. And also, okay, this time, thank you so much for your participation and support, and we hope to see you next month. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone who wants to go here?